It wasn't me, it was her. She's guilty. How can you believe this travesty?
I sat at the long glass table with my hands folded in my lap so no one would notice how badly they were shaking. The conference room smelled like coffee and printer ink, cold and impersonal, like it had never held anything human. Ethan sat across from me, relaxed, jacket off, sleeves rolled up, like this was a planning meeting instead of the end of our marriage. "Let's keep this efficient," he said, tapping the table once. "There's no reason to make this harder than it needs to be." I stared at him. "Efficient," I repeated. "That's what 10 years gets reduced to?" His lawyer slid a folder toward me instead of answering. Thick, heavy, final. My name was barely visible on the corner of the documents, like an afterthought. "I'm requesting the house," Ethan continued calmly, "both vehicles and full ownership of the company. You'll retain your personal savings account and your jewelry." I let out a short laugh before I could stop myself. "You're serious?" "Yes." "You want everything," I said. "That's not personal," he replied. "It's practical." From the corner, Marilyn cleared her throat. "This emotional tone isn't helping anyone," she said. "Try to be reasonable." I turned toward her. Reasonable would be acknowledging I helped build that company. She smiled tightly. "Support isn't ownership." Lena sat beside her, legs crossed, hands clasped together like she was praying. My best friend of 12 years. She wouldn't look at me. "Lena?" I said quietly. She flinched. "I just think dragging this out will hurt you more," she said. "Ethan's offering a clean break." I felt something hollow open in my chest. "You think this is clean?" "It's simple," she replied. "For who?" I asked. No one answered. The silence stretched until it became heavy, pressing down on my ribs. My lawyer shifted beside me, waiting. He leaned closer. "We can counter," he whispered. Ethan shook his head. "There's no need. She doesn't have to fight this." I looked at him. "You decided that for me?" "You hate conflict," he said. "I'm sparing you." Marilyn nodded approvingly. "He's always taken care of you." I felt invisible, like I was being discussed instead of addressed. "I took care of him," I said. "You just never noticed." Ethan finally met my eyes. "You never wanted credit," he said. "You were happy behind the scenes." "That's not true." "You never complained." "I trusted you." He sighed, impatient. "Trust doesn't change numbers." I wanted to scream, to list every late night, every skipped vacation, every time I covered payroll so he could sleep. Instead, my throat closed. I swallowed hard. "So this was planned," I said. He didn't deny it. "Preparation isn't betrayal." Lena whispered, "I'm sorry." I looked at her. "How long?" She hesitated. "Too long. Since last year." The room tilted slightly. I gripped the edge of the table. I said, "You watched me defend him," I said. "You let me believe you were on my side." "I didn't know how to tell you." Marilyn stood. "This isn't productive." Ethan pushed his chair back. "If there are no objections, we'll proceed as drafted." My lawyer waited. Everyone waited. They were all watching for my reaction, my breakdown, my tears. I felt them expecting it, ready to use it against me. Instead, I nodded. "Fine," I said. Ethan blinked. "Fine?" "Yes." Relief flashed across his face before he masked it. Papers were gathered, pens clicked. Decisions were recorded without me saying another word. As we stood, Ethan leaned in. "You'll thank me later," he murmured. "This way you can move on." I looked at him, really looked, and felt something cold settle in my chest. "You don't know me anymore," I said. He smiled. "I know you better than anyone." That was his mistake. In the hallway, Lena reached for my arm. "I hope you're okay." I stepped away. "Don't ask me that again." Marilyn brushed past me. "Try not to be bitter," she said. "It ages women." The elevator doors closed, leaving me alone with my reflection. pale, quiet, unrecognizable. According to the paperwork, I had nothing. No house, no company, no leverage. But as the elevator descended, my mind replayed every email, every meeting, every financial decision Ethan assumed I forgot. They thought silence meant surrender. They mistook restraint for weakness. By the time the doors opened, my hands had stopped shaking. They had taken everything that was visible. They had no idea what I was still holding. I didn't plan to confront anyone. That was the lie I told myself while I drove to Lena's apartment, my hands steady on the wheel, my heartbeat anything but. I wasn't angry yet. Anger requires certainty. What I felt was worse. I needed to hear them say it out loud. Lena opened the door wearing the same sweater I'd loaned her last winter. "You came," she said, relieved. "Were you expecting me not to?" I asked. She stepped aside. "Come in." Her place smelled like vanilla candles and familiarity. I'd helped her pick the couch. I stayed standing. "Sit," she offered. "I won't be long." She hugged herself. "I didn't want to hurt you." I said, "You sat next to him. You didn't look at me." I was trying not to make things worse. "For me?" I asked. She swallowed. "For everyone." That answer landed exactly where I expected it to. "When did you decide I wasn't included in everyone?" Her eyes filled. "It wasn't like that." "When did you know?" I pressed. She looked down. "After he started talking about separation. And you didn't tell me. He said you were fragile." I laughed softly. "Did he say that before or after you agreed to help him?" Her head snapped up. "Help him how?" "Don't insult me," I said. "You don't accidentally sit on the other side of the table." Silence stretched between us. Finally, she whispered, "He needed someone who understood the numbers." I understood the numbers. "You were emotionally involved," she said quickly. "I was neutral. Neutral people don't hide things." She wiped her cheeks. "I thought he'd be fair." "You thought wrong." A knock sounded behind me. I turned just as Marilyn stepped into the apartment, keys already in hand. "I didn't expect you," she said coolly. "I didn't expect you either." She set her purse down. "Ethan said you might be upset." "Upset?" I echoed. "Is that what you call it when someone takes your life apart in one meeting?" "You're exaggerating," she said. "You'll be compensated." "With what?" I asked. "Memories?" She sighed. "You always had a flair for drama." Lena flinched. "Please don't do this here." "Here?" I asked. "In front of the people who decided my value without me?" Marilyn folded her arms. "Ethan carried that company." I stepped closer. "Then why did he need my spreadsheets?" Her lips pressed together. "You supported him. That's not the same." "I worked," I said, "and you erased it." She looked past me. "You're upset. We'll talk when you calm down." Something in me hardened. "No," I said, "you won't." Lena reached for my arm. "Please." I pulled away. "You both made your choice." As I turned to leave, I heard Marilyn say she was never right for him. I stopped. "You're right," I said without turning around. "I was too useful." The hallway felt narrow as I walked out. My phone buzzed before I reached the elevator. "Ethan. Ethan, I heard you stopped by Lena's. That wasn't necessary." I typed as the doors closed. "Neither was the ambush." 3 dots appeared. "You're taking this personally." I laughed under my breath. "You took everything personally when it benefited you." No response. The next day at work, people avoided my eyes. Whispers followed me down the hallway. I caught fragments. Messy. Sad. He tried. At lunch, Sophia slid into the seat across from me. "You okay?" she asked quietly. "I'm learning who people are," I said. She nodded. "Then you should know something." I leaned forward. "What?" "I heard Ethan telling the board you were uninvolved, that you didn't understand operations." My jaw tightened. "Did anyone challenge him?" She hesitated. Not out loud. "Thank you for telling me." She met my eyes. I didn't choose him. That mattered more than she knew. That evening, I sat alone in my car outside the old building. I wasn't ready to go inside. Through the glass, I saw Ethan laughing with someone from legal, confident, untouched. I opened my notebook and wrote names, dates, statements I heard word for word, patterns I'd ignored because love had softened the edges. They didn't just betray me in a meeting, they chose him long before. And now that I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. I closed the notebook and whispered, "Okay." Not in defeat, in acceptance. I didn't feel powerful when I started. That part matters. I wasn't calm or confident or clever. I was tired. The kind of tired that settles into your bones and makes decisions for you. I sat at my kitchen table with a cheap notebook and a pen that skipped, and I told myself I was only writing so I wouldn't forget. "Just facts," I said out loud, "nothing else." The first page was messy, dates scratched out, names rewritten. I wrote "divorce meeting" at the top and listed exactly what was said, who spoke first. And she wasn't done. The first crack showed up in Ethan's voice. He called me late, past midnight, like he used to when something went wrong and he needed me to fix it. I almost didn't answer. Almost. "What do you want?" I asked. "You've been talking to people," he said. "I talk to people every day." "About me," he snapped. I leaned back on the bed. "You should be more specific." There was a pause. Breathing. Controlled but uneven. "The board has questions. That's normal. They're asking why certain transfers happened before the separation." I smiled into the dark. "Did you answer them?" "You know why they happened," he said. "You were part of it." "No," I replied calmly. "I wasn't." Another pause. Longer this time. "Don't do this." "Do what?" "Rewrite history." "I'm not rewriting anything," I said. "I'm finally reading it." He hung up. At work the next day, the tension was thick enough to taste. People whispered openly now, no longer careful. I passed Marilyn in the hallway. She didn't look at me. "Good morning," I said. She stopped, turned slowly. "This is unnecessary," she said. "What is?" "This posture, dragging things out." "I'm responding," I said. "There's a difference." She leaned closer. "You don't want to burn bridges." I met her gaze. "You set this one on fire." Her lips thinned. "Ethan trusted you." "He trusted that I wouldn't check," I corrected. Her hand trembled slightly before she walked away. Lena reached out that afternoon. A call. I let it go to voicemail. Then another. And another. Finally, a text. "Lena, I need to talk to you, please." I didn't respond. Sophia stopped by my desk. "You didn't hear this from me," she said, "but legal is panicking." "About what?" "Documentation," she whispered. "Someone asked for originals." I nodded. "That makes sense." She studied me. "You knew this was coming." "I prepared," I said. That evening, Daniel called. "They're scrambling," he confirmed. Ethan filed an amendment. "Too late?" "Desperate," he said. "That's worse." I exhaled slowly. "What's next?" "Court," he replied. "And one more thing. The judge assigned to your case doesn't like theatrics." "Neither do I," I said. 2 days later, Lena showed up at my door. "I won't leave until you talk to me," she said, eyes red, voice shaking. I stepped aside. 5 minutes. She sat, wringing her hands. "I didn't think it would get this bad." "You helped make it bad," I replied. "I was scared," she said. "He said you'd be fine, that you always land on your feet." I laughed softly. "Everyone keeps saying that." "He's losing control," she whispered. "He didn't expect you to push back." "I didn't push," I said. I stood still. She looked up. "He's blaming you." "Of course he is." "And Marilyn," she added. "She's furious." "About what?" "About being exposed." I watched her carefully. "Why are you telling me this?" She swallowed. "Because I chose wrong." I nodded once. "Yes, you did." "Is there anything I can do?" I stood. You already did what mattered. What's that? You showed me who you were. She left quietly. The night before court, Ethan sent one last message. Ethan, we can still settle. I stared at it for a long time. Me, you already tried. Ethan, this won't end how you think. I typed slowly. Me, it already has. In the courtroom, he avoided my eyes. Marilyn sat rigid, jaw clenched. Lena wasn't there. Judge Alvarez entered without ceremony. No smiles, no patience. Let's proceed, he said. As Ethan's lawyer spoke, I listened carefully. Claims, assumptions, confidence built on old narratives. When it was my turn, Daniel stood, calm and precise. We have documentation, he said. Ethan shifted. We have timelines, Daniel continued. Marilyn's hand tightened around her purse. And we have discrepancies, Daniel finished. Judge Alvarez looked at Ethan. You'll answer these questions directly. For the first time, Ethan looked at me. Not dismissive, not amused. Afraid. I met his gaze and felt nothing. The cracks had spread, and there was no holding it together now. The courtroom was quieter than I expected. No dramatic music, no gasps, just the low shuffle of papers and the soft hum of the lights overhead. I sat straight, hands folded, eyes forward. I wasn't here to perform. I was here to finish something. Judge Alvarez adjusted his glasses. Proceed, he said. Ethan's lawyer stood first, confident, smooth. He spoke about growth, risk, leadership, about how Ethan carried the company while I supported. I listened without interrupting, without reacting. I'd heard this version of the story before. They'd been telling it for years. When he finished, Daniel rose. Let's talk about timelines, Daniel said calmly. Ethan stiffened. Daniel projected a document on the screen. This email was sent 3 months before the separation was requested. Ethan leaned forward. That doesn't mean anything. Judge Alvarez raised a hand. You'll wait. Daniel continued. This transfer moved company assets into a separate holding entity under Mr. Cole's sole control. Ethan's lawyer objected. Speculation. Overrules, the judge said. The document speaks for itself. I watched Ethan's jaw tighten. Marilyn stared straight ahead, unmoving. Daniel clicked to the next slide. Here's another. And another. The room felt heavier with each timestamp. Not loud, just undeniable. Ethan finally stood. She knew, he said, pointing at me. No, I said quietly. Judge Alvarez looked at me. You'll speak when addressed. Yes, Your Honor. Daniel nodded. My client was discouraged from seeking legal counsel during initial negotiations. Ethan's lawyer frowned. What about it? It speaks to intent, Daniel replied. Judge Alvarez nodded. It does. I felt something shift. Not triumph, grounding, like standing on solid earth after years of soft lies. Ethan leaned toward his lawyer, whispering urgently. Marilyn finally looked at me, eyes sharp with something close to panic. Daniel turned. We call Mr. Hale. Mr. Hale took the stand and spoke plainly. Numbers, patterns, deviations. He didn't dramatize, he didn't accuse. He explained. These discrepancies indicate premeditated asset consolidation. Ethan stood up abruptly. This is ridiculous. Judge Alvarez's voice was firm. Sit down. Ethan hesitated, then obeyed. When it was over, the judge called a recess. As everyone stood, Ethan finally looked at me. Really looked. His confidence was gone. In its place was disbelief, like he couldn't understand how the story had changed without his permission. In the hallway, he approached me. Why are you doing this? He demanded. I kept my voice low. I'm not doing anything. I'm letting the truth finish speaking. You're ruining everything, he said. You did that. He scoffed weakly. You think you've won. I thought about the notebooks, the nights, the restraint. I think you underestimated silence. Marilyn pulled him away before he could respond. Back inside, Judge Alvarez returned. I've seen enough for today, he said. This court will reconvene tomorrow for final statements. Ethan's lawyer objected. "Your Honor," I said, "Enough," the judge replied. As we filed out, Daniel leaned toward me. "You were right to wait." I nodded. "So were you." Outside, the air felt lighter, not because it was over, because it was inevitable now. Ethan passed me without a word. His shoulders were slumped, his steps uneven. The man who once filled every room now looked smaller, like the truth had taken up all the space he used to occupy. I watched him leave and felt no urge to follow. The courtroom hadn't been loud. It hadn't needed to be, because when you're right, the truth carries its own weight. I slept better than I had in months, which felt strange considering the verdict still hadn't been read. I woke before my alarm, calm in a way I didn't trust yet. Calm had betrayed me before. Still, I got dressed slowly, deliberately, choosing clothes that felt like mine instead of armor. In the courthouse hallway, Ethan paced. Marilyn whispered sharply at his lawyer. Lena stood alone near a window, eyes rimmed red. No one spoke to me. That silence felt different now, respectful, careful. When Ethan finally noticed me, he froze. Not the glance he used to give me, not the distracted nod. He really looked. "You planned this," he said under his breath as I passed. "No," I replied. "I survived it." He followed me into the courtroom. "You could have stopped," he whispered. "You could have talked to me." "I did," I said, "for years." Judge Alvarez entered and everyone stood. The air felt tight, stretched thin. When we sat, Ethan leaned forward, hands clenched together like he was praying to something that had already left him. His lawyer spoke first. Apologies disguised as explanations, words like miscommunication and oversight. Marilyn nodded along, lips pursed, as if agreement might rewrite reality. When Daniel stood,